Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Mr. Fitness, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that you can do to break through any weight loss plateau. So I don't care how long you've been stuck at where you're at, these 5 things I've used with clients over the last 30 years to help them do exactly that, break through any weight loss plateau no matter what. So these things are guaranteed to use. Now, these are just 5 of many things that you can do, 5 of the things that I've found work best for helping my clients break through weight loss plateaus. So if you're at a weight loss plateau, if you're at a standstill right now, try one of these 5 things, 2 of these 5 things, all of these 5 things to help you break through your weight loss plateau. So the first thing on my list of what you can do to break through a weight loss plateau is carb cycling. So the chances are, if you've been on a weight loss journey for any amount of time, you've probably heard of carb cycling. You know, with all the low carb and the keto and the carnivore and the paleo and all of this stuff going around, everybody's eating low carb. But this one form of low carb is something that's probably new to a lot of people that are going to watch this video, or a lot of people watching this video. So what exactly is carb cycling? Well, to keep it simple, carb cycling is just where you'll take periods of, of high carbs, moderate carb, and low carb. Normally in a carb cycling cycle, you're going to have more low carb days than high carb days. So exactly how should you carb cycle? Well, for most of my clients, what I recommend is a 4-2-1 schedule. Now, I know you're probably wondering what exactly does that mean? What is the definition of 4-2-1? Well, what 4-2-1 means is that you're going to have 4 days of low carb. You're going to have 2 days of moderate carb, and you're going to have 1 day of high carb. And I always say that the high carb day is optional. So way you can set that up to make the most sense is let's just look at a week, Monday through Sunday. So what I would do to keep it simple, just for this explanation, is Monday through Thursday, I'm going to have low carb. Monday through Thursday. So Friday and Saturday, I'm going to have moderate carb. And on Sunday is going to be my high carb day. So now we've got the structure of how the carb cycle should look. Now, what does low carb mean? What constitutes low carb? What constitutes moderate carb? And what constitutes high carb? So what I want you to look at, low carb, is anything less than 30 grams of carbs per day. Now, here's what I will tell you, that the majority of people that I put on this carb cycling regimen do say that that amount of carbs on a low carb day is very low. Just think about it. A quarter cup of rice is going to have just about that amount of carbs, if not more in it. And that's just 1/4 cup of rice. So you can kind of look at those low carb days as the days where you're going to be setting your body up for the biggest fat burning benefit throughout the course of that week. And again, you're not doing this low carb forever. You're just maybe using it for, a week to, what a lot of my clients, I'll have them do is you throw this in for a week when they start to hit that plateau, to kind of change things up and to get them over the hump of the plateau. So don't look at it as you have to do this low carb 4 days a week forever. It may be a week, it may be a little bit longer. So you're going to look at low carb as 30 grams maximum. So your moderate carb is going to be anywhere between 31 grams and about 69 grams of carbs. That's going to be your moderate carb day. Your high carb day is going to be at about 70 to about 90 grams of carbs per day will be your high carb day. Now, you're going to want to play around with those numbers based on how much exercise you're doing. So the more you exercise, the more room you'll have to play with on any of the days, the low carb days, the moderate carb days, or the high carb days. So that's kind of the structure that you'll follow on the days in terms of what each group or what each day should look like. Now, why does carb cycling work? Well, the main reason why carb cycling works is it's now giving your body a chance to burn more fat as an energy source. You see, you're building muscle through your exercise and you're building muscle through eating right. Now what you're doing is your body has gotten used to what you're doing over the course of the weeks, and that's why you're probably at a standstill. You've been eating the same, you've been exercising the same, everything has been the same. So now what you're gonna do is take this week or 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever it may be, and now you're gonna bump up your metabolism. You're going to kick up your fat burning by increasing, or I should say decreasing, the amount of carbs you're eating. So that's really the basis behind carb cycling. So the second thing you can do to break through any weight loss plateau is to write down everything that you eat. See, what happens is we get into the routine of eating. We eat the same things every day, so it just becomes a habit. But what happens is it's like a boat. If a boat is in the ocean and there's no one at the steering wheel, I know that's not what you call that thing on the boat that controls the boat. No, it's not called a steering wheel. Down below in the comments, let me know what that thing is called. And of course, as normal, when I'm shooting one of these videos, my house phone has to ring. But we're going to ignore that. So let's look at it as a car. If I'm driving a car and I keep my hands off of the wheel, no matter how good the alignment is, no matter how straight the road is, eventually that car, because of this and because of that, will start to veer off path. Little bit by little bit by little bit. And it's the same with your diet. No matter how good you eat, there's going to be little things that are going to creep into your diet along the way that you're not going to recognize, you're not going to notice. You may think that those things don't make much of a difference, so you won't consider them. And those little things start to add up. Over a while, they add up to big negative results. So what I encourage all of my clients to do that are facing or in a plateau is, it doesn't have to be forever. 3 days, write down everything that you eat and then we review it. And it's surprising that once you write things down, you start to notice things that you didn't recognize before. So when you're writing these things down, have someone else view it. Someone that may be, maybe a trainer or a dietitian or a nutritionist, someone that can look at it with a different set of eyes and give you a different perspective and help you make the necessary changes. And I'm pretty sure that once you write things down and you start to look at it, you're going to start to notice certain things that you can change. Again, things that you may not have noticed that crept in to your daily eating routine. A little bit of extra sugar here in your coffee, or a little extra, ketchup or mayo or this, or a little extra sugar here and there may not seem like a big thing or a big deal on a micro level, but it adds up to big changes over time. So definitely start to keep track of what you're eating. Again, you probably don't have to do it every day. I'd say maybe 3 days out of the week where you're going to write down everything you eat, whether you're using an app or whether you're using the old school pen and paper. But write down everything. Get as detailed as you can with calories and carbs and sugar and protein and fiber and fat, and really start to take a look at what you're eating. And I'm sure you're going to find some things that you can cut back on, or maybe some things that you can increase that'll help you break through that weight loss plateau. All right, so the third thing that you can do to break through any weight loss plateau is to eat more vegetables. Now, studies show that people that eat more vegetables lose more weight. They also have an easier time losing weight. But what I'm going to do is, what I do with my clients is not just have them eat more vegetables. I make sure that they eat more vegetables, or eat vegetables with each and every meal. Because the thing about vegetables is they're low in calories, they're high in fiber, and the thing about fiber is it takes up more space in your system, which makes you feel fuller, which makes you less hungry, which obviously is going to be an aid in helping you not overeat. And really, you can eat any vegetable. So it doesn't have to be any particular vegetable, but I'm going to give you my top vegetables that are going to help you overcome any weight loss plateau and help you start losing weight again. So my top vegetables to help you break through a weight loss plateau are kale, spinach, cauliflower, broccoli, mushrooms, and asparagus. So here's what I want you to do. Starting today, plan, or depending on where you're at in today's day. If it's the beginning of the day, make sure you're gonna eat some, and if you don't have those vegetables, just eat any vegetable, but plan a vegetable in with each of your meals, and if you're eating snacks throughout the course of the day. And I'm guaranteeing you that if you do that over the course of a week or two, you will definitely start to see more weight loss progress. All right, so the fourth thing that you can do to break through any weight loss plateau is to increase the intensity of your workouts. So look, the reality is you've been working out for a while, you've been eating good, and not only have your eating or has your diet been the same, but chances are your workouts have been pretty similar too. And as I like to tell all my clients, in order to see a change, you've got to change something. And it's really difficult initially when you're doing something and it's working, to change it, because you have this vision in your mind of the times where that thing that you were doing was working, but unfortunately it's no longer working. So you need to make a change. But here's the reason why. As you get into better shape, your body your metabolism speeds up. But what that means is that your body now needs a higher level of intensity to get a better or get more of a benefit. So the level of intensity that you're at right now isn't going to get you to where you're going. It's just enough to help you stay where you're at. So you need to increase the intensity of your workouts. But you're probably asking yourself, well, what exactly should I change? Now, if we're just talking about a basic standard workout, then we're basically talking about three things. We're talking about sets, we're talking about reps, and we're talking about the amount of weight that you lift. Now, I would always encourage everyone, because when really breaking through a weight loss plateau, what we want to focus on is building or increasing the amount of muscle that we build. So in order to do that, you need to lift heavier weights. So what I would say what I advise all of my clients, and most of my clients are clients that want to lose weight. That's their primary goal. So the first thing we want to focus on is their rep range, and how intense is the workout, or is that weight within that rep range. So let's say that you're in a rep range of 15 to 20 repetitions per set, and you do all 3 sets, and it is now easy. That weight that you're at is now easy. What I would say to do is increase the amount of weight you lift anywhere from 5% to 15%. Now that is naturally, because it's an increase, and the closer you get to that 15% or greater, naturally means that you're going to do less reps. So those two kind of go hand in hand. So you want to increase your weight, it's going to decrease your rep, but you also at the same time can change up and this is probably for a whole nother video, in changing up the exercises, because it's not just about changing up the exercises, but it's about what specific exercises to change to get a specific result. Now, in this video, we're just talking about getting the weight loss process going again. So that would be the first thing I would say you would want to start with, is increasing the weight. So if you're already at 15 to 20 reps and the exercise is easy, you want to increase by another 5 to 10% in weight. And once that weight gets easy, then you need to increase again. Now, I know a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but still some women are afraid of increasing the weight because they don't want to get big and they don't want to get bulky. Well, it's not going to happen. Okay, you're not going to look like a man. You're not going to have these big and bulky muscles. So just forget about that. You need to increase your weight because you need to increase the amount of fat your body burns. And that's what muscle does. Muscle uses fat as an energy source. So if you want to break through that weight loss plateau, on your next workout, I challenge you to increase the amount of weight you lift. And the fifth and final thing on my list of things that you can do to break through a weight loss plateau is to stop relying on the scale. You see, the reality is when it comes to losing weight, we only focus on the number on the scale because that's what we identify with progress. But the reality also is that the scale only gives you a small piece of the puzzle. You see, when you're looking at the number on the scale, it's telling you everything. It's not telling you how much muscle, unless you have one of those fancy scales. But if you just have a basic scale and you're just looking at that number, it's simply telling you everything of what your body is made up of. And I've had plenty of clients in the past that they're dropping pant sizes and dress sizes. They feel better. They look better, but they don't see the number change on the scale, and it drives them crazy. So everything else is changing, but just simply because that number's not changing, they're unhappy. So to keep it simple, a pound is a pound, regardless if it's a pound of water, if it's a pound of muscle, if it's a pound of fat. However, here's the difference. A pound of fat could be this big, but a pound of muscle could be this big. So a pound is a pound. So when you lose 10 pounds of fat and you gain 10 pounds of muscle, guess what? The scale doesn't change. But what does change is the way your clothes fit. What does change is the way you look. So if this is you and you're at a weight loss plateau, but really you're not at a plateau because you've come a long way, because maybe you've lost 10 to 15 inches across your entire body. Maybe your clothes are fitting differently. Maybe you're even in a category where you needed to go buy new clothes because none of your clothes fit. The scale is just psychological. The scale only gives you a piece of the puzzle and it doesn't tell you everything. So don't just rely. I'm not saying not to rely on the scale at all. What I'm saying is don't just rely on the scale to be your judgment of how well you're doing. Take many factors, tape measure, trying on clothes that don't fit periodically. That'll give you a more clear picture of exactly how you're doing and not just the scale. So there you have it, guys. You have now 5 ways of things, or 5 things that you can do to help you break through your weight loss plateau. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's going to be more beneficial if you stack these things on top of each other. So if you do 1, you're going to get results. But if you do 2, you're going to get even better results. If you do 3, if you do 4, if you do all 5 of these things, that's when you're going to see the biggest results. So guys, go ahead and try these things out. I'd like to hear how they work for you. So go ahead and comment below in the video exactly how these things worked. Comment below in the video if you have any questions or if you'd like to add anything to this list. Guys, that is it for today. I'm gonna get on out of here. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. Guys, this is Mr. Fitness, the body transformation specialist, signing off. And as always, where there's a will, there's a way. And I hope you have another amazingly fantastic day. Till next time.